atomic gold. But what it does is, they promise you that your body, your health's going to improve, your overall life's going to improve, and blah, blah, blah. What they want to do is change your DNA. And it changes your DNA so that you're more possessible by them. They could care less about your health, folks, your welfare. They hate humans. And it's the human New Agers that have to be the biggest idiots on the planet for thinking that these leaders that they're listening and following to don't care about them. All they want is their bodies and their death so that they can control their bodies, put their own alien demonic beings in them as hosts and control them. And what they want to do is not only promise people this immortality, but also that people would become more male and female, which would make people hermaphrodites. And there's really no way you could do that physically without this total change of DNA. I don't know if it's going to go that far. But even mentally, making somebody male and female, talk about complete sexual confusion on the planet, where everybody just becomes homosexual or bisexual, just like they are. These ascended masters are bisexuals. A lot of them homosexuals. And they want the planet to become exactly like they are. Because the only thing they are is ripe for the fires of hell. And they want everybody else to go to hell with them. And that's one of the aspects of this white monoatomic gold. They call it obtaining a light body, becoming a light worker. What it really is and what they're really doing is it's a mimicry and a mockery of having a heavenly resurrected body. So this whole gold elixir thing is to mock having a heavenly resurrected body, and they call it bringing heaven to earth. They're trying their hardest to try to mimic a millennial reign on Christ here. At the end of the tribulation period, there's a 1,000-year millennial reign where the real Son of God will come to earth and establish his reign on earth. This is what they're trying to mimic and enforce now in this age of Aquarius. This kingdom of God on earth, only it's not God, it's Satan. Well, they're not going to call him Satan. They're not going to call him Lucifer. They call him, I can't even think of his name right now. I have his picture on my website. He's the blonde guy with the blue eyes, handsome guy. Can't think of his name, but it's on my website. But they don't refer to him as Satan and Lucifer, folks, but that's exactly what he is. But his henchmen are going to come before that. You're going to have Maitreya. You're going to have Jesus. You're going to have Moses. They're even talking about rolling out an Elijah. And you have to understand, Satan's got demons named after all these biblical figures. They even have a demon named Jesus. And that's the one, his picture, that I call Satan's general, that the churches have been hanging up in their pews in the churches for 2,000 years now, saying, "Oh, this is a picture of Jesus. Michelangelo painted it." They've been hanging up. It's a picture of Satan's demon called Jesus, because that's not what he looks like. That is not what he looks like, folks. And so their cleansing operation is going to take effect, going to become mandatory everywhere, because you have to understand this. Maitreya will take over the world, folks. He will take over Babylon. And that's why I've told you, it does not matter who is our president, if it's Obama or Hillary or still Bush and Cheney. It doesn't matter who's president of the United States. They give the power of the United States over to this Maitreya. And he's going to enforce this cleansing program. So just a warning about this cleansing program, this Kool-Aid coming up. Some other things I wanted to warn you about. This IZL, I don't know what it stands for. But there is something called an IZL satellite. It's a satellite dish, and it's in space. I know I don't have the whole proper name for it, probably. But I'll just call it the IZL, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But this is a huge dish, a huge plate in space. Now, I don't know if this is the weapon, the big TV camera they're going to have up there or not. But there's two different things going on. They've got a huge plate in space that can cover the sun up, can block the sun's rays from reaching Earth, to force the world. Sanat Kumara, that's it. Thanks for that, I am. Somebody sent me an IM to tell me who Satan's name was. It's Sanat Kumara, that they refer to Satan as. Anyway, there's two different things. There's this big plate in space that can block the sun from reaching the Earth. That way they can enforce darkness on earth because they want darkness when Jesus arrives. And I don't think this takes place when Maitreya comes. It might, because I believe Maitreya is going to arrive about 5 months before Jesus does. When one of them arrives, you'll see this happen because the earth's going to be in total darkness. And then we're going to see this big projection, and this is caused by this satellite, this IZL, I believe. And they're going to, it's like a big film screen. And they're going to show the history of the earth on the screen for the world to see. And this is our supposed history, folks. It's going to be very deceiving. It's going to be satellite TV at its best, like you've never seen it. They're actually going to show the crucifixion of Jesus, the Son of God, on the cross. They're going to show them putting the nails in his hands. They're going to show supposedly all the events that happened back then on this projection TV. Only it's a deception, folks, because the person that they're nailing on the cross is going to be this Sananda, this Jesus, who everyone's pictures in their mind that looks like Jesus. It's going to be him. It's going to be him. And so he's going to have, the long, blondish, reddish hair, whatever it is, and the white skin, because Jesus was white. And so he's going to look, where Maitreya is going to look more Middle Eastern, Jesus will come looking Aryan. And he's going to be about 10 foot tall because he's just an Anak, folks. He's an Anak. He's one of these giants, and both of them will be giants. But they're going to show this whole thing of Jesus being nailed on the cross and all this stuff. And then when he comes, when he descends to earth, he's going to show the nails in his hands. He's going to mimic the second coming of Christ that we read about in Revelation chapter 22, 21, when the second coming of Christ, when he returns to earth at the Battle of Armageddon. Well, this demon Jesus is going to come to earth in darkness with his angelic host. The world's going to be all dark. You're going to see this big TV presentation of our history. And I'm not getting this off the internet, folks. I'm getting this from the Bible codes, which is really funny because I've seen this before on the internet. And to see it in the Bible codes, it's like they're really going to do this. And so they're going to show him his death. And then when he comes to earth and descends, you're going to see the nail holes in his hands. You're going to see this light aura around him, like he's a heavenly being. And around all the angels, the other giants that are with him, the Anaks, they're all going to have on the white robes and look angelic, and this whole heavenly host from heaven, It's going to be great. It's going to be like, get out the popcorn. It's going to be something else. This is going to be a very earth-shattering event. Everybody is going to be glued to this. Everyone's just going to be looking up at the skies and totally glued to this. Now, at the same time, picture a very cold earth because there's no sun. It's all darkness. Frost being on the ground. Crops being destroyed. You get the picture, what this actually causes on earth by having the earth in darkness. And they plan on doing this for 3 days. And so, I don't know if it's exactly 3 days. But they've always talked about this 3 days of darkness. And they've always put it in December. But from what I can see, it's September when Jesus arrives. When this whole satellite and fake blue beam project starts up, it's going to be in September. Where I see this Maitreya arriving, usually around March. It could be any month, but March is always dominant. So they land on Earth. They come to Earth quite a few months in between each other. So there's a couple things to watch for because all this is just going to happen. Take the world by surprise, I believe. I mean, even if I saw it, I'd be surprised. I would expect it because I'm already expecting it, and so are you guys. I think what's going to amaze us is how many global awards they should win. This whole Hollywood production they've been planning for years. A couple things to watch for: the appearance of Moses and the red heifer, and the rebuilding of a temple in Israel. I never see the rebuilding of a temple in Israel, although I do see the finding where they pull out this duplicate and fake Ark of the Covenant in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is dominant in the codes because of this. They're going to pull out this fake Ark of the Covenant. They say, look, we found the Ark of the Covenant. And look, we have a red heifer. And look who's here. Moses is here. Yeah, it's coming, folks. And like I've said, this is not the Bible, the Moses of the Bible. It's just a demon masquerading as Moses. And he's not even returned